Hey guys, how's it going? Jared Genesis here. So these are just some of my secret tips, my secret strategies, if you want to call it that, for Magic the Gathering. Also, I want to plug really quick Magic Duels for Steam. It's free to play. The cards are free. They go by points. It's not like Magic Online where they're gonna gyp you. Paying for things that you can't hold in your hand. I don't personally even believe in. So thank God for Magic Duels is all I can really say. Now I will say I'm a little bit sad that you can't buy singles, but I guess that is kind of pushing it with a game with an online game. There's never been a point I can recall where you could actually buy singles from any game from online, anyways. But so my secret strategies, one really good one that a lot of people don't utilize are mill decks. That's making the person have to draw until they eventually no longer have a deck. The most mill comes in blue, although I have actually seen some black mill, but it's very rare. It's mostly just blue. What I do with mill decks is I like to have a ton of walls. That way it's just cheap cards that can block incoming damage. Have a lot of spells that are mill based spells, and also a few spells that can help control your deck. If you're familiar with the card Pacifism, where a target creature can't attack or block, stuff like that. That to me is really good. Now the question you may be asking is, do you want to have any creatures at all that allow actual damage to attack? Personally, you could have a few, but really I think the main emphasis should be on defender. That's just my personal opinion. But yeah, for the most part, mill decks like that are really fun and very effective. There's also a very interesting card, I forget which set it's from, called Undead Alchemist, I believe, and it's a blue zombie. And it allows all your creatures, all zombie creatures, I believe, your actual power damage becomes mill damage. So if you have a 2/2 card and you attack, they have to mill 2 cards if the damage goes through. I believe that's how it was. It's been a while since I played that, but so that can make a really fun deck as well. Okay, so another really fun one, and I know this is one that other people utilize too, is Red Burn. Or direct damage deck, whatever you want to call it. For me, a good burn deck is something that's just all based on direct damage and creature cards that allow you to give direct damage that are very high in power but are low in defense, so it's really easy to cast big damage for cheap. That makes for a great burn deck. I love just burning the shit out of people. There's just something so maniacally fun about it, when you're having a bad day. That's whenever I was pissed off, like whenever I went to F&M Friday Night Magic, I think that's when I would bring the burn deck, just to burn shit. I didn't care if I lost. I just wanted to burn some shit up. But yeah, that makes for the best burn decks, The spells are stuff, like if you're familiar with Ball Lightning, it just takes 1. Of course, Lightning Bolt, which unfortunately became illegal, but it was for 1 mountain. You could deal 3 damage to target creature or player, which was phenomenally good. And it sucks that they banned that card from FNM, but yeah, that makes for a great burn deck. So that's definitely worth checking out or trying out. But with me, it's funny because out of all the colors, I'm a little bit unusual. My preference is white. Most people are, I would say, the most uncommon Magic player you'll find is someone who primarily utilizes white. Now, I enjoy the full spectrum, but I will admit I'm fairly good with white and knowledgeable with it. And white weenies are phenomenally good, especially if you pair them with angel cards. The reason why angel cards are so great is because they help the entire field. If you compare that to other creatures, most other creatures only help creatures with their same type, but angels help all different creatures, and that's what makes them so distinct and unique. I love angel cards, you know, and I'm a Christian, so I think that's kind of cool too. But it's funny though because a lot of the angels have sort of a dark artwork to them, so it makes me wonder about Magic. But no, but seriously though, cards like Sarah Angel, you know, what is that? A 4/4, you know, with vigilance and flying, you know, stuff like that is just great. But white weenies though, the reason they call it white weenies is because there's a lot of white cards out there that are low in mana cost and are still fairly good, especially flyers. Like there's very, very good cards that are cheap but also good flyers. And you know, if you compare that to like green, you know, green doesn't have any flying creatures, so that's what makes it unique, and that's what I love about white weenie, is because you can really amp up the flying cards, and that'll definitely piss your opponent off. But with green though, I mean, that is probably the best when it comes to like you know, really beefy cards with little mana cost. I would give it to green. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get into green, I guess. With green, I just wanted to say really quick though, with white, it is the best for life gain. The best, and not just in terms of like life link cards, but like actual life gain cards like sorceries and instants that, you know, there's like one card, I believe, I forget how much mana, but like, I think it's like less than 5 mana, you can gain 7 life. It could even be, no, I don't think it's 3 mana, but it's like for 4 mana you gain 7 life. That's pretty good. You know, stuff like that, so that's worth checking into. But for green though, yeah, for green, it's all about gaining mana and putting out really massively big cards. The bigger the better. That's my motto for green. You know, you want those really huge trample cards. You definitely want trample, so the damage goes through. You know, like if a little creature blocks it, the damage still goes through to the opponent. That's what's so great about trample. You know, and I just love playing out those really beefy cards because, you know, it's funny with Magic. There aren't a lot of cards that go past like the 6/6 range. It's always been that way. It's always been, you know, powers usually from 1 to 6. It's rare to find cards that are higher than 6, and I always was kind of disappointed by that, but I guess it's understandable. But with green, it goes really, really high. Now, of course, you do have Eldrazi cards, which are just stupid huge. You know, you have 15/15, what is that, Emrakul? Which Eldrazi is awesome. I've never owned an Eldrazi deck, but they're very cool. But with green, I think one of the highest is like 10/10. I haven't seen much higher than that, which is still really good. But yeah, you know, busting out that what is it, like that fucking I'm trying to think of a big, well, like, you know, really big, like 10/10 or something. Just pushing all that mana to the side, scaring your opponent, you know, because they're fully knowing you're about to play something really fucking huge. I've always enjoyed that, you know, seeing the look of terror on my opponent's face as I'm pushing all that mana to the side is pretty amazing. But yeah, like I said, the main strategy with green is you want to get the mana on your battlefield as quickly as possible. So you want those sorcery cards and instant cards that allow you to play mana faster, and also creature cards that give you the special ability to play mana, like Lorwyn Elves, you know, tap for 1 mana, stuff like that. Definitely essential. You have to be patient too. I have to say that with most cards, other than maybe like red, you really have to be patient. You know, don't be hasty when you're playing and just attack, because when you do that, you're going to miss out on good opportunities. You want to save your creatures until you're really ramped up, and then you go in for the kill. Because like I said, if you don't do that, it's just you're not gonna it's not gonna work in your favor. Just trust me on that. You're gonna be lacking, so you want to save up. You know, with instants and sorceries too, don't just splurge on them. You know, but like I said, with red, you know, you want to get that direct damage as fast as possible. But in all other instances, you really have to learn to control yourself, and it's something that can take time, because I know it's very tempting to be impulsive. You have to discipline yourself to be a great Magic player, though. I've learned that over the years. But yeah, other than that, though, I mean, like, unless you're playing a red deck and you have like a green or a white deck, then I would say that you probably would just try to, get it over as fast as possible, because that red, man, it'll kill you quick. Like you even if it's just like a red, mixed with another colored deck, it's still so freaking fast. It's just amazing. But yeah, the funny thing about me too is I don't have that much experience with black, although I do find it to be a very fascinating color. I was never one to want to risk sacrifice for gain, because that's what Magic is about with black. It's taking risks. It's about sacrificing one of your own creatures or something like that so that you can do something special. And I think it does take a very advanced player to utilize the black color. I just personally was never that great at it, and it just never really did that much for me. But man, there are some amazing black cards out there, like really amazing stuff. I can't think of any at the top of my head, but there was a black card I remember a long time ago that destroyed all land. That was pretty funny. What was that card? Armageddon? I think that's what it was. Armageddon. It would destroy all land, and that would be great against using a green deck. But anyways, guys, those are just my tips, so I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you. So thanks for watching, guys. Peace.